Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This video is titled 522 Weeks Later, The Impossible Coincidence of Dick Cheney's Quail Hunting Accident in Texas and the Death of Antonin Scalia after Quail Hunting in Texas. I know the title's a little bit long, I'm working on it, but by the end you'll see why I have named this video this. First, we must begin with gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. We're going to begin with the word justice. Notice that justice has a simple English gematria of 87 and an English gematria of 522. The name Antonin for Antonin Scalia has gematria of 87 and 522. Any word that has a simple English gematria of 87 will have an English gematria of 522 because all you do to get from simple English gematria to English gematria is multiply by 6. Right now there's headlines that a pillow was found above his head. These conspiracy headlines in the mainstream media, pillow 87, 522. With regards to justice, the word truth also has gematria of 87 and 522. A nice pairing in words and numbers, truth and justice, something there's not enough of in this world, which is why I began making videos. Because see, I've been searching for truth and justice ever since September 11th. And once I figured out this code of numerology and gematria, I realized I had cracked the code. But once you crack the code, there's always more to dig up, and that's what we're doing here. So check this out. All of these words have gematria of 87 and 522. Even Dick Cheney, who accidentally shot his lawyer buddy in the face February 11th, 2006, 10 years and 2 days before the death of Scalia in a similar place in Texas while also quail hunting. Let's just punch in Dick Cheney so you don't think I'm making this up. Dick Cheney, 87, 522. And let me tell you, Dick Cheney doesn't have anything to do with justice or truth. But somehow the numbers connect. So anyhow, the date Dick Cheney shot his lawyer buddy in the face, quail hunting, to the day Scalia died is exactly 522 weeks. 522. And there's even more connections to this number. What I want you to understand is that the world we live in is scripted, planned out decades in advance. And the people who fill these positions in this conspiracy, including positions on the Supreme Court, positions in government, positions such as the president, a lot of these people are actor agents who have taken coded names to fulfill the part, including Antonin Scalia, including the judge who ruled him dead, Judge Cinderella. I did a video on her earlier. Coded out name, fitting the day. So with regards to Dick Cheney and Scalia, Dick Cheney's from Wyoming, the 44th state. Scalia died on the 44th day, known as Lupercalia. Look at that Calia ending, kind of like Scalia. Scalia. Lupercalia is on the 44th day of the year, an ancient Roman festival of death, cleansing of spirits, has name gematria of 44, just like Wyoming's the 44th state. And let's not forget that 44 is the kill number. Speaking of Quayle, Dan Quayle, Vice President George H.W. Bush, was the 44th Vice President. And think about the connections from George H.W. Bush to his son, to Dick Cheney, to Scalia and Rehnquist being appointed by Reagan when George H.W. Bush was the Vice President, formerly the head of CIA. If you can believe it, this code I have broken is the CIA code. These idiots have coded the truth into our language, being too arrogant. They thought that I wouldn't come along or someone like me who would see through their bullshit. Think again. Anyhow, here's the dates of the events. Cheney shot a 78-year-old, the reflection of 87, while in Texas quail hunting. February 11th, the 42nd day of the year. The word Freemason equals 42. And then we get Scalia dying February 13th. So earlier today, I did a video on the Family Guy episode, Meet the Quagmires. May 20th is the day that leaves 225 days remaining in the year, the reflection of 522. And also, what is the 141st day in leap years? And I'll show you why that's interesting. In the film, The Pelican Brief, which is all coded out, syncing up with the story of Scalia and Rehnquist, this number is used in a key address in the movie, 225 Willow Street, and the movie runs 141 minutes and was released on a date with 141 numerology. By accident, on the first video I made about Scalia, the day he died, that video ran 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Creeps me out now. I didn't mean to do that. But now I realize this number is connected. And also I wanted to point out that May 20th in leap years, again, is the 141st day. And this year is a leap year, the year that Scalia has died in. From the very first headline from CNN, the kill code was here. Scalia dead equals 59, like kill in Jewish gematria. He died at age 79. Murder equals 79. I really think, though, they just murder the character. Again, Antonin Scalia probably gets to go back to his real identity, his birth name, whatever that is. The whole birthday, the whole name, it's made up for so many of these actor agents, including the 44th president, Barack Hussein Obama, who's born on August 4th because United States of America equals 84. The name Obama in Jewish gematria equals 84. Think about the Orwell book, 1984. Talk about predictive programming. Anyway, watch the other videos I've put out. I talk about the significance of all these numbers, information you need to know. Here's another predictive programming from The Simpsons. There's an episode called Opposites of Frack. There's a reference to Scalia in this episode. On the day he died, there was a record earthquake in Oklahoma that was by the numbers. And we get this headline the same day, Scalia's seismic death, tying in with the earthquake. Here's an episode about The Simpsons called Opposites of Frack, fracking causing earthquakes, tying in with the Scalia. Opposites of Frack has a gematria of 174, just like Supreme Court, just like New World Order. The date of this episode until the day he died was a span of 66 weeks and 6 days, 666. Fox translates to 666 in gematria. This shows on Fox The Simpsons. If you add the end date, this becomes 67 weeks. Blood sacrifice equals 67. Satanic equals 67. The date of the episode, November 2nd, 2014, 66 weeks and 6 days earlier, has numerology of 47. Like the words, check this out, important words, judge, gematria 47. Gavel, what a judge uses to bang to show their authority. They all equal 47. Judge, gavel, obey, authority, all 47 words. In the episode, the reference to Scalia is that Mr. Burns has a bedroom called the Antonin Scalia bedroom that gets destroyed and rebuilt as NPR. You know, I don't get the full joke of that, but Antonin Scalia bedroom in Pythagorean gematria sums to 87. Just like the gematria of the Family Guy episode about him. In Futurama, also on Fox, also written by The Simpsons, there's a reference to Antonin Scalia. This one's from years ago. The episode is called The episode is called A Taste of Freedom, which has gematria of 63 the small way. Dead on the bench equals 63. He is the third Supreme Court justice to die in the last 63 years. And the last to die was William Rehnquist, appointed the same day as him. A Taste of Freedom, the big way, equals 153, the number from the miraculous catch in the Bible, a number connected to 42. Remember the Dick Cheney shooting on the 42nd day of the year? Freemason equals 42. 42, a big number in the Pelican Brief, shown over and over again. Meet the Quagmires, the Family Guy episode. Again, that gematria of 87. References Dick Cheney. The dialogue from the show is, "Man, it's been a busy day. Dick Cheney, the chairman of Halliburton, shot Supreme Court Justice Scalia in a hunting accident, and the bullet went right through him and killed Karl Rove and Tucker Carlson. the Republican strategist and the Republican pundit from the news. Predictive programming. Put all over. Cartoons, movies, and probably a million other things I don't know about yet. Speaking of predictive programming, this movie came out in the year of 93, the year of the 93 World Trade Center bombing. There's this quick second showing of 9/11 on the screen. They love to put these numbers before our eyes. Darby shot, 42, Bolac Lane, name coded out for president, all sorts of familiar numbers through the whole movie. Lots of 33. Freemason number of obsession. It's the Masons, Zionists, Jesuits who code. Alright, so now let's close out with some real predictive programming. In the end of the Pelican Brief, Denzel Washington's character, who's a reporter, busts this man. He says, I have your memo from April 11th showing that you're plotting to kill the Supreme Court justices that are now dead. And what's up with that date, April 11th, is the sequence of 411. The word assassin in Jewish gematria equals 411. In history, JFK was shot from 411 Elm Street. And from Christmas Day of 1961, there was an episode on the Andy Griffith Show where a bootlegging family gets busted at 411 Elm Street. Think about how the Kennedys were bootleggers. Anyhow, Obama was born earlier that year, exactly 144 days before that episode. JFK was the last president to die in office. He was the 44th term president. Obama's the 44th president. And I want you to notice what these numbers have to do with death. 44, when written out, has gematria of 144. April 4th has gematria of 144. The first ever president to die in office was the 9th president, William Henry Harrison, who died on April 4th. 4-4. Martin Luther King Jr. would later be assassinated on this day. JFK, the 44th term president, would die on the first day of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the only astrological sign with a gematria of 144. JFK was assassinated in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. With regards to his brother, Bobby Kennedy, he would die at 1:44 in the morning. On 6/6, Sirhan equals 66, so does Robert Kennedy. Dies at 1:44 in the morning on 6/6, June 6th. Also, 10 days before he died, he gave a speech in Roseburg, Oregon about gun control in regards to the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., which happened earlier in 68. This number 144, it ties into the gematria of Mark of the Beast, a number made famous or infamous in Revelation, the final book of the Bible. In Revelation, the numbers 144,000 are used twice, and the number 666 is used once. If you add the first 144 decimal points of pi together, it sums to 666. 666 is known as the Mark of the Beast. Mark of the Beast in gematria equals 144. These relationships are deep. Our language, English, is coded on this numerical system. And with regards to 68, here's the headline from President's Day. Obama and Scalia, What Happens Next? Which has gematria of 68, just like the name Barack Obama. Again, Martin Luther King Jr. and Bobby Kennedy assassinated in 68. The same year 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code. The same year World Trade Center construction began. The same year George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones, the Masonic Order. 33 years before 2001, the same year Space Odyssey 2001 came out. We're living out a planned agenda, truth seeker. And it's going to be that way until the day we break this Masonic order. Look at this headline, President's Day, calling the president a sacrificial lamb. Since when? Number 44 was always going to be the black man and the one used as a sacrificial lamb for this New World Order agenda, because this is a New World Order nation. Until next time, truth seeker.